Every police department in the world had to deal with fast getaway cars at some point. And it hasn't always been easy to stop them. Many models have been put to the test in America, but all of them were flawed and had to be discontinued. But American departments have once been inches away from stopping anyone they chased.
A decade that changed police cars forever. The 1980s were a turning point for American police cars. Before this decade, many police vehicles were big, slow, and outdated. They burned too much fuel, struggled with new pollution laws, and often broke down in their heavy use. At the same time, criminals were driving faster and lighter cars. Police departments had a serious problem. Their cars were falling behind. During the 1980s, police agencies across the United States tried many different solutions. Some of those ideas worked very well, others failed badly. The result was one of the most interesting periods in police car history. In this article, we take a deep and simple look at the 3 worst and the 4 best American police cars of the 1980s. These cars show how law enforcement learned hard lessons and slowly moved toward the modern patrol vehicles we see today. Why some police cars failed in the 1980s? Not every police car is chosen because it is fast or strong. Many times, cities and towns buy cars because they are cheap, save fuel, or are already available. In the early 1980s, money was tight. Fuel prices were high. New emissions rules limited engine power. Because of this, some police departments ended up with cars that simply were not good enough for police work. These vehicles could not chase suspects, could not handle rough use, and made officers feel unsafe. At the same time, criminals were driving faster and lighter cars. Police departments had a serious problem. Their cars were falling behind. Worst police cars of the 1980s. Number 1. 1986 Plymouth Reliant K car. The Plymouth Reliant K car is one of the weakest police cars ever used in America. Why it was used? The K car platform helped save Chrysler from bankruptcy. Because it was cheap and fuel efficient, many cities bought it for police use, even though it was never designed for serious patrol duty. Engine and performance. The Reliant came with small 4-cylinder engines, a 2.2-liter engine, and a 2.5-liter engine. Power ranged from 84 to 100 horsepower, which is extremely low for a police car. Acceleration was painfully slow. Going from 0 to 60 miles per hour took 13 to 15 seconds. That meant most suspects could escape easily. Problems for officers. The interior was very small. Officers wearing full equipment belts felt cramped. The car's light body could be badly damaged by small impacts, like hitting a curb. In high-crime areas, officers felt helpless driving this car. The Plymouth Reliant was mostly used for parking enforcement and light patrol work. For real police action, it was almost useless. It represents the lowest point of police vehicle capability in the 1980s. Number 2. Chevrolet Celebrity 9C1. The Chevrolet Celebrity 9C1 was another failed experiment. Front-wheel drive trouble. This car used front-wheel drive, which was new and popular in the early 1980s. While front-wheel drive is fine for normal driving, it was a poor choice for police work at the time. Engine and handling. The Celebrity used a 2.8-liter V6 engine with about 110 to 130 horsepower. All that power went to the front wheels. Because police equipment added extra weight to the front, the car handled badly. Officers reported strong pulling during acceleration, poor control at high speeds, and dangerous handling during sharp turns. Reliability issues. The early front-wheel drive transmissions were not built for police work. Long idling hours and constant stopping caused frequent transmission failures. Officers disliked this car because it felt unsafe. It was designed to save money, not to protect police officers. Number 3. Dodge St. Regis. The Dodge St. Regis is often remembered as one of the worst police cars ever. Smog-era engine problems. Although it looked like a big, powerful sedan, emissions loss destroyed its performance. The 318 cubic inch V8 engine produced only 155 horsepower in some states. Real patrol performance. With full police equipment installed, the St. Regis struggled badly. It could barely reach 85 miles per hour, lost speed on hills, and often overheated. Officers joked that suspects could just escape by driving uphill. Many called it the dog car because it was slow and tired. Mechanical weakness. The car suffered from suspension problems, cooling failures, and constant maintenance issues. Instead of being on patrol, many St. Regis cars stayed in repair shops. Best police cars of the 1980s. Thankfully, not everything in the 1980s was a failure. Some police cars became legends and changed law enforcement forever. Number 1. Ford Mustang SSP. The Ford Mustang SSP is one of the most famous police cars ever built. After struggling with slow patrol cars, the California Highway Patrol asked Ford for a fast pursuit vehicle. Ford answered with the Mustang SSP. Performance. The Mustang SSP used the 5.0-liter V8 engine. Early models around 157 horsepower, later models up to 225 horsepower. It could reach 60 miles per hour in about 6 seconds and had a top speed over 140 miles per hour. This was not a regular Mustang. It had stronger body structure, heavy-duty cooling, special brakes and suspension. Its famous slogan said it all. This Ford chases Porsches for a living. Number 2. Chevrolet Caprice 9C1. The Chevrolet Caprice 9C1 became the face of police work in America. Engine and strength. The Caprice used a 5.7-liter V8 with strong low-end power. It was not the fastest car, but it was extremely tough. This car had full steel frame, strong suspension, large brakes. It could jump curbs, survive crashes, and keep going. Officers trusted it completely. The Caprice had a huge interior. Officers were comfortable, and there was plenty of room for equipment and suspects. For many veterans, this was the best all-around police car ever built. Number 3. Dodge Diplomat and Plymouth Grand Fury. These cars were the everyday heroes of the 1980s. Reliable and tough. Powered by the 318 V8, these cars were not flashy, but they were dependable. They could run all day, every day. They were smaller than the Caprice, making them easier to drive in tight city streets. Police departments like the NYPD used them heavily. Why officers liked them? Strong suspension, simple mechanics, easy repairs. They were true workhorses. Number 4. Ford Ltd. Crown Victoria P71. The Crown Victoria would later dominate police fleets, and it all started here. Power and space. The 1989 model used a 5.8-liter V8 engine and had a massive trunk. It could carry radios, computers, and future police technology easily. Comfort and safety. Officers spent long shifts inside this car. It was smooth, quiet, and safe. It quickly became a favorite. The Crown Victoria would go on to rule police departments for decades. The 1989 model proved it was ready. The 1980s taught police departments important lessons. Cars must be fast enough, strong enough, reliable enough, and comfortable enough. This decade moved police vehicles from outdated machines to purpose-built tools. Conclusion. From failure to success. The 1980s started with embarrassment and ended with pride. From weak cars like the Plymouth Reliance and Dodge St. Regis to legends like the Mustang SSP and Crown Victoria, this decade changed everything. These cars were more than machines. They were partners to officers, and many of them are now respected classics that represent a crucial chapter in American automotive and law enforcement history. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of police vehicles. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear which 1980s cop car you think made the biggest impact. Please don't forget to leave a review. Explore more by joining me on Patreon.